Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Oh, why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Terence Crawford has called out Floyd Mayweather, saying that beating Floyd would be the final step in proving he's truly the best. After Canelo Alvarez admitted that Crawford is better than Floyd, debates over who is greater have only intensified, and Crawford now has a way to settle that argument. This came shortly after Crawford addressed those comments during his appearance on the Ariel Helwani show.
He was following because he became the face of boxing.
And even though
Canelo is the one who's been in the ring with both of us, Crawford said. People can say what they want, but he actually fought both of us. With Floyd, he was young, inexperienced, and had a rehydration clause. With me, he was older and stronger at his natural weight. But I don't really go off of that. Floyd is the best fighter of his era, and I feel like I'm the best fighter of mine.
I have 4 arms.
I know. I know.
And 6 eyes to be Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
Crawford didn't duck the question. He made it clear that he's focused on building his own legacy rather than being measured against others. But he also added that if the question really needs to be answered, there's only one way to settle it: inside the ring. For Crawford, debates aren't decided by fans, journalists, or even other fighters. They're settled by fighting the man himself.
Everyone is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
For now, though, nothing is confirmed. Crawford has teased a possible move to middleweight, which has already sparked reactions from current champions. Offers are starting to roll in, with one world champion even putting a title shot on the table if Crawford is serious about moving up again. That's the kind of position Crawford is in now. Every division from 160 to 168 wants a piece of him because a fight with him guarantees global attention.
I think Terence Crawford right now in the sport of boxing is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the sport of boxing right now.
How good is Crawford?
Crawford is amazing, not just good. He's amazing, and
He said the same thing about you.
Thank you, Terence. But I think he should be in the book for
Really? Is that good?
how to learn boxing. You know.
Really?
For me, pound for pound, number one is Terence.
Stephen A. Smith has also weighed in on the Mayweather versus Crawford debate. Speaking to Fight Hype right after the Canelo fight, Stephen A. explained what impressed him most about Crawford's win. I'm not surprised. I picked Crawford to win by decision going into the fight. Watching Canelo throughout his career, it was expected he wasn't going to get knocked out, especially not by a smaller man. But did Crawford have enough power and skill to keep Canelo off him? For the most part, that answer was yes.
Think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too.
When asked if Crawford is better than Mayweather, Stephen A. pulled back. I'm not going to sit up here and say that. Floyd Mayweather was a magician defensively. Once he moved up to welterweight, his hands were always damaged, so he knew he wasn't going to knock guys out anymore. But he still put on masterful performances every time because his skill and defense were on another level. Even while heavily praising Crawford, Stephen A. still placed Floyd's defensive wizardry above everyone else. But the fact that this comparison is even being seriously discussed shows just how far Crawford's stock has risen.
We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best.
The pound-for-pound rankings confirm it. Crawford leapfrogged Alexander Usyk to claim the #1 spot, with Usyk dropping to #2 and Naoya in no way sliding to #3. Canelo Alvarez fell from #8 to #10, opening the door for Shakur Stevenson and David Benavidez to move up. The rest of the top 10 stayed the same, with Dimitri Bivol Artur Beterbiev, Jesse Rodriguez, and Junto Nakatani holding positions 4 through 7.
How come you couldn't convince the man to slide down a few pounds, you understand, instead of having to go all the way up to 168? What was that about?
Well, my thing is this. He's the champion. I want to fight him. It wasn't the other way around, you know. So why put stipulations and rehydration clause and all these, you know, tactics to benefit me when I'm the one that's chasing him, when I'm the one that want to fight him? So it's going to make this victory.
But it's not just about rankings. Crawford's performance against Canelo was one of those rare nights in boxing where you see a fighter operating on a completely different level. While the official scorecard had it close, anyone who actually watched knows it was far more one-sided.
Is the fight you got to study if you're Crawford. Crawford ain't Floyd, but he can do a Bill. The problem is Bibel's a big dude. This is rough because this fight is only a matchup fight. Let me tell you what I mean.
Deontay Wilder flat out said Crawford won every round. TalkSport's Adam Catterall and Gareth Davies were furious with the judges. Davies said, "I had it 9 rounds to 3. I can just about see 8 to 4. But I cannot see 7 to 5 like 2 of the judges had it." Catterall went even further, calling it an absolute schooling and diabolical scoring. That's why Canelo himself, a man who rarely gives away credit, admitted after the fight that Crawford was better than Mayweather. He's a great champion, a strong competitor, Canelo said. Coming from someone who fought both men, those words carried weight.
Who's the best boxer, in your opinion, right now?
I think it's Terence Crawford.
Many believe it's you. Many believe you're the best fighter.
No, I'm not the best fighter of the world. It's Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford, number 1, yeah?
Yeah.
Crawford, though, is already looking ahead. He said his decision is to stay at super middleweight. "I'm not going back down 154. I'm comfortable. My motto is any weight class I ever moved up from, I never went back down to T168. He feels strong and sees that as his immediate future. The only drop he might consider is to 160, but even that, he admits, is unlikely.
The only way you think Crawford ran the whole fight is that you didn't see it and you were smoking that shit during the fight. Crawford outboxed him. He had too much speed for him, too much movement for him, and unexpected to many, he had too much power for him. Even Canelo admitted that he could not figure Crawford out. So give Crawford his respect now. Give this man his just due. He's the best fighter of this era, whether you like it or not. Congratulations to Terence Crawford. Goodbye and God bless.
That's because 154 is risky. Fighters there are younger, fresher, and stylistically dangerous. Crawford nearly came undone against Israel Madrimov in 2024, and Madrimov isn't even the top guy in that division. At 154, killers like Jaron Boots Ennis, Bakram Murtazalev, Sebastian Fundora, and Virgil Ortiz Jr. are waiting. All of them bring styles that could make life difficult for Crawford at T160. The problem isn't danger, it's value. The division lacks star names right now. Promoters like Turkey Alashik, who bankroll many of the biggest events, want high-profile matchups. Crawford can't headline Netflix or DAZN pay-per-view cards against no-name champions at middleweight. That means if Canelo doesn't agree to a rematch, the best options are fighters like David Benavidez, Dimitri Bivol, or Chris Eubank Jr., names with enough star power to make big-money fights. Even then, Crawford's trainer Brian Bomack McIntyre isn't in a rush. Asked directly about Benavidez, he told Fight Hype, "No, we ain't doing that fight. No, we're not going to vacate the belts. We're just going to sit where we need to sit for a minute, then get back in the gym and do our thing." Bomack wants Crawford to rest. After half a year of intense training for Canelo, he's encouraging him to take a vacation, spend time with family, and recharge. Since 2020, Crawford has been fighting just once a year, and McIntyre doesn't plan on changing that pace unless the right opportunity comes along.
Get David down to 168. We can make a super fight with Terence Crawford versus David Benavidez, and Terence Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez, then turn around and fight the guy that Canelo Alvarez has avoided in David Benavidez. That would send a huge message to the sport of boxing. Now, what's interesting is a lot of people are going to say, well, can David make 168? I don't know if he can, but Turkey Alashik would offer him so much money.
Is there still a need for Benavidez?
Who? Canelo?
Turkey
people,
dropped.
You know, people
Turkey,
are talking about it.
Turkey hit it at that. He was like Benavidez.
Yeah, he
Turkey,
did.
So.
Turkey just posted that this morning, wondering if Benavidez can make 168. Maybe he has plans or ideas of maybe trying to match up Benavidez and Terence Crawford.
No,
there. No, we ain't doing that fight. Maybe planning on vacating the belts. No, we ain't gonna vacate the belts.
As for Jaron Boots Ennis, who's been calling Crawford out for years, Bomac didn't mince words. When asked if Crawford would consider that fight, he simply replied, he don't want that. All of this leaves Crawford in a rare but powerful position. He's beaten the biggest name available, claimed the pound-for-pound throne, and even forced Canelo to publicly admit he's better than Mayweather. At the same time, he's now being measured against legends in real time. Some, like Stephen A. Smith, still hold Floyd above him. Others, including Canelo Alvarez himself, believe Crawford has already surpassed that bar. And in Crawford's own mind, if anyone really wants the debate settled once and for all, there's only one way to do it: step in the ring with Floyd Mayweather.